Hey there, and welcome to another video in my DIY competitive series where I show you and your company the processes that I have used in my decade plus of performing competitive intelligence for some of the top companies in the US. Quick intro, my name is Finbar. I run finbar.co, which is a competitive intelligence as a service business. We focus on running detailed competitive intelligence tasks and reports for 7 to 8 to 9 figure businesses that have, large competitive and market insights and market strategy questions, but don't have the in-house either knowledge or resources to run an expert competitive analysis by themselves. Um, we work on a once-off basis with clients, or we can work on a repetitive basis over a period of time, so we can get to know the business better and even produce greater competitive intelligence insights for you. But whatever is best for your business, that's how we like to work with all our clients. Today's short presentation, again, as I mentioned, is part of the DIY competitive series where I try to give you the steps to do it internally. All these like tough, complex questions. This is how I break them down, and this is how I kind of tackle them when I do competitive intelligence reports and what I've done for 10 years, as I mentioned already. Um, so today's short presentation is going to run through this question, which is up in front of you on the screen. Determine the long-term strategic goals of your competitors, which, I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but I feel like every 7, 8, 9 figure business wants to know this at least. And if you just follow this process today, hopefully you'll get good, deep insights out of it on your competitors, and you'll know how to continuously monitor it go forward. Um, so let's get started. Just a quick reminder for those who may be not familiar with competitive intelligence or analysis, or are doing their first one or haven't done one in a while. These are the things I always like to share in an opening call with a client, that like, if you're going to do your own competitive intelligence, it's a great skill to learn, number one, but it can be dull and boring at times. I, even 10 years in, have to prepare myself to understand that there's a lot of admin tasks. There's a lot of like data, not manipulation, but like ensuring data sets are in the right area, ensuring, this, all the steps, so you're comprehensively going through all the process that I'm going to outline to you. So just be prepared for that. Crucial thing is always defining and framing your question. This is for you as a researcher or as an analyst, but also for the person you're doing it. So if it's your CEO, CFO, CMO, all those people, just signing off on that, and this is the scope of the research, is crucial. I would say should be number one. Although these are not ranked in importance, they're all, 6 of them are very important. Avoid searching for a single solution. And what I mean by that is essentially don't have bias going into it. Don't have a thought process of like, I think this is the thing, but I just want to prove it. And this is how my story is going to, if I get data to prove this, I'm going to shove this in people's faces. This is the right answer. So go in with as little bias and as much open mind. Let the data and your analysis do the talking, and you should be fine. This kind of goes into that one, is base your recommendations on data and ensure they are quantifiable. Numbers will always win an argument. If you don't have data and you don't show data in your final recommendations and report, then it's just your word against someone else's. And normally competitive analysts will lose out because they'll be just going off of their opinions, and they'll be presenting to a CEO or a founder or someone high up in the C-suite, and basically they'll have a stronger say than you, and that your analysis will be essentially rubbish. Ethics play a vital role. Always abide by the law. Don't be accessing data or going underhand to get data. It's just not a good look, and it's going to come back on you. So don't be that person. Don't be that company who does that. And then the last one is understand your industry. It's almost, if not more important, I would say, from my 10 years of experience, than understanding your competitors. You don't want to be comparing yourself like to to companies that are in different industries, different growth stages, different customers. Just keep within your general area if you're going to do a good competitive analysis, I would say. You can always get tips from every company, but when you're doing a deep competitive analysis, you want to be directly comparable to who you're researching. Okay. So I'm not going to, this is more of a visual and I want you to read it as I read it. But the most important thing is that you have how many steps on this one? 10. 8, 9, and 10 are essentially creating and producing a quality report. But this is the kind of framework I use. First step, identify key competitors. Obviously, you probably know them already, but we say direct competitors and indirect competitors. Indirect competitors are basically those companies who provide different products or services than you, but they meet the same customer need. So you're talking to the same customer. So that's go harder on the direct stuff, but I'd like to include a few indirect customers whose customer is the exact same customer that you're aiming for. Number 2, collect publicly available information. You then get into the data collection spot. So number 2 is basically collecting from all like publicly available. If they're a private company, they mightn't have annual reports and SEC filings, but they will have press releases, PR kind of drops and stuff like that. So do as much as possible on data on that. I call this like almost like official data. Number 3 then is basically the corporate communications. That's interviewing things they've said, things they've done, interviews, earnings calls, company blogs, social media. And the further back on that, not saying you have to look at everything, but the further back on that, you get a trend of what they're doing. Another great thing is like, I know it's large companies we're dealing with, but like Facebook ads, Google ads, what are they pushing out there? And is that consistent for the last year or two? Because if they've changed dramatically, that'll be a good indication of the strategic goal of competitors in general. Number 4, this is where you get involved, and you might have to pay for a report or two, but I don't do it every time. But if you're going to pay for an industry-leading research report in place already to get more insights into for your own research, make sure it's number 1 an industry leader in your industry. So don't go to like just a random Joe who like done one report on your industry. Essentially, it has to be one that they have experts in-house doing it. Analyst reports on competitors, similar. You have to trust a source there. And there's a lot of free stuff out there too. So 2, 3, and 4 are essentially just like get everything you can out there, data collection. 5 would be also in that because it's just basically understanding R&D, patents, acquisitions if they've done it, what partnerships they have in place. Crucial to break them up and do them in this order. I like to do them, but understand that this is all 2 to 5 is data collection. Number 6 then is basically similar. I thought, full disclosure, I thought 6 was with 5, so you could even put 2 and 6 together. Number 7 is a bit different, where you start putting it into automated tools to help you analyze everything. Here's where you start generating your graphs, you're generating your matrices, your SWOT analysis, scenario planning, etc. Number 8 then is where you come to your recommendations. So you basically have analyzed, you've basically created the graphs in number 7, and now you're basically identifying the patterns and strategic teams, and you're creating your story for your report, which is number 9. Put it all together, you outline, basically you have a key structure of here's the data, here's the findings, here's your analysis, here's your recommendations. And then number 10 is presenting that report, and basically what actions can we take out of that, and monitoring that continuously. So again, this is a similar process to a lot of the things, but this is unique in that there's 5 steps, 2 to 6, that are basically data collection, because they're different areas of data collection, but they're crucial to give a full picture. So I have a free process checklist in the video description here, so please download that. Visit my website if you're having trouble downloading that. There's also a lot of other templates you can download on key questions, such as very similar to this, but I cover a wide range. And reach out to me if you'd like any competitive intelligence as a service for your business. hello@finbar.co is my email. Would love to work with you. Would love to have just an opening call, see if it's a mutual fit. So hope this was helpful, and see you on the next one. Thanks.